gonna try that again. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do the intro again. I refuse. I screwed up the intro. Took the last live stream off. Tonight screwed up the intro. What would a live stream be without some technical difficulties? It's Wednesday, baby. Spartan, kick the like button for me just one time. Please, please. For me, please. Guys, I've had quite a week. I won't lie to you. Been a little overwhelmed this week. Still been putting up some content on the Instagram. You have to understand that's easy to do. That's easy to do. You want to know what I'm carrying every day? Check the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, check the Instagram. It's Rollshambo _EDC. Please. I'm always shocked when I find out that like people who regularly watch the channel are just discovering me on Instagram now. And they say that I'm slow and late. Better late than never, though. Better late than never. Listen, you might hear a little bit of fan noise in the background pushing against the microphone. That's not hiss. That is me trying not to expire live. Cheers, guys. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We're halfway through the week, at least for those of you that work regular work schedules. For some of you, it's Monday. In which case, I'm sorry. Theme of tonight's live is drop day. Disappointment. I experience it too, but that doesn't mean that we can't make fun of it. Okay. People take drop day so seriously. Like, you always know who the collectors are, especially if you're on Instagram. What dropped today? What am I talking about? The paramilitary 2 Tonto from Blade HQ dropped today. Now, the first release they did at Blade Show, and they had a lot. Like, I had eyes and ears and hands in the crowd. And my sources tell me that you could get the Tonto PM2 at Blade Show all the way up through like the end of the second day. Like, they were just there, okay? They were available. They were gettable. I'm not even sure if that's a word, but they were gettable, okay? And it gave a lot of us who didn't go to the show hope. The PM2 Tonto is only a Blade HQ exclusive. So if you love the knife and you hate the retailer, tough shit. You're going to pay the piper. Or you'll pay too much on the secondary and you'll still pay the piper. Okay? So, like, doesn't matter if you don't like Blade HQ. It's their exclusive. I need a company, a retailer that I like to, like, sack up, okay? Like, sack up and do a Para 3 Tonto. Please? For those of us who like the EDC size knives, okay? Like, I get it. Smaller knives are not everybody's jam, but I like them. I like them like 3 1/4, you know? 3 1/4 is more than enough. It's about displacement, right? I'm not going to go there. What I'm trying to say is I need another retailer that I freaking like to do a Para 3 Tonto. Please. Please. Like, the PM2 Tonto being owned by Blade HQ makes me depressed. Because they came out with this whole thing. Is my mic even on? Yeah, okay, it's on. They came out with this whole thing. They're like, members will have early access. And then the rest of us who weren't members were like, how much we got to pay? And they're like, it's free. Guess what? Being a member gotcha. Nada tostada. I was a member. Aluminum level, like most people who only joined because we were told we would have earlier access than the rest of the public that didn't have Instagram or, you know, read their newsletters. But they were available. And then came the golden moment. It was time for the aluminum drop, and I go there. And it said, available now. I'm like, sweet. I click on it for aluminum tier. Nothing. Freaking nothing. You know what it said? You've been placed in a queue. What the hell is this queue? What does it mean? What does it do? Why? How? What's the point? What's the point? If there's like, do one or the other. Do a queue or the access for the tiers, but they did both. Some people really liked this method. I thought it was dumb because I spent half the time clicking out, clicking back in, thinking my phone was malfunctioning, try to click on the available now bull crap. It kept like taking me out of the queue every time I did that. Because I was like, I don't want to lose it till like the public drop. And then I figured out you can only enter the queue if your tier is up. And I had already given up my spot in the queue like 10 times. So I was patient. I got back in the queue. I waited. And before my time was up, sold out. And then I immediately went to their Instagram post and I voiced my displeasure. And while I was there, I was buoyed. That's a good word. By the displeasure of others. Some people were extreme. Some people were like, I'm never buying from Blade HQ again. Lost out on the PM2 Tonto. Never buying from Spyderco again. Even though it's not Spyderco's fault. Like, they delivered an order. Blade HQ is Blade HQ. But some people were taking it serious. Like, you know, collectors are sensitive when they're over here like, I'm selling every single one of my... because this is bull crap. I'm selling every single one. I know because I've been there. That was me after the first Winter Blade Factor release. I experienced extreme disappointment. Now I just think it's funny. Plus, Blade HQ was like, we're going to do a lot of runs. They're going to be available. Our goal is to get one into everyone's hands. So for the love of everything holy, do not pay those scalper scums with multiple aluminum tier club level accounts. Please, please don't do that. If you're one of those disappointed vagrants, vagabonds, vigilantes in Blade HQ's comment section, it's me. I'm the vagabond. Don't just say screw it. I'll pay more. Don't do that. For one, you're rewarding assholes. Don't reward scalpers. Okay, they're the reason why you couldn't get in the first place. Now you're going to pay them. Don't do that. Be patient. Blade HQ will have more. Is it disappointing? Yes, but the hunt goes on. Ground Fog, good to see you, dude. Welcome into Marco Henry G. Engage hot sauce and bring the rocks.
I'm not retarded, but I like rocks.
I took a nice shot of hot sauce, dude. Nice shot of ghost pepper sauce. Here's the thing. I took it with some fresh blackberries that I picked from our blackberry bramble that we brought back to life when we started renting this place. Like, when we first got here, like, the bramble was like 5 feet long, barren, on its deathbed, and my wife revived it. And this year it's like 20 feet, and this is a year, mind you. It's like 20 feet long, 6 feet tall, thorny deliciousness. But the problem is that it produces a ton of blackberries, so you got to pick them all, because if you don't and you let them rot on the vine, you know what happens? Bugs, mosquitoes, pests that you don't want. And of course, I get trapped because with my ADHD, I am constantly seeking the dopamine. But the blackberry brambles that we have are brambles. They got the sharp, like, whatever asshole planted it in the back of our yard. And forgive my language. I know some of you guys are like, wow, he's cussed twice already. I can say that because I have injured myself so many times picking these berries, and I can't stop because my brain is constantly dopamine seeking, right? The best berries are always in the back, and you have to reach for them through these hooked, sharp, barbed brambles. And so you get dopamine whenever you feel pain. You'll also get dopamine whenever you get rewarded. And it's this constant cycle of pain, reward, do it again. Found another one, pain, reward, do it again. So for like hours, I'll sit there picking these berries, just injuring myself. Then the worst one was when the thorn went right through the knuckle. That happened 2 hours ago. I still feel it. Anyways, the moral of this random story is that I did my hot sauce shot with some blackberries. What am I going to do with all those blackberries? I'm going to eat them. I'm going to snack on them. I'm going to combine them with the habaneros growing also in the backyard. I'm going to make some really good hot sauce. What's up, Comment? Good to see you. Welcome to Blind Move Fury Stonewall Steve. What's up, Trucking? Good to see you, man. Bradford Mitchell in the house says, evening all in Rollshambo. Welcome to the shit show Wednesday. I mean, it's not that much of a shit show. What's up? Taylor Hardness in the house. It's good, Taylor. Guys, make sure to go follow Mr. Taylor Hardness on all of the platforms. That's Instagram, YouTube, and of course his website, steelhardnesslabs.com. It's nice to see what all of these steels are testing at. It is really nice. Hold on. I'm so far behind. Lou, Sharp Obsession. Good to see you, dude. Welcome in. I'm not always late. There's a delay, which means that by the time you see the video, it's late for you. But I was on time. It's because of the delay. Mr. Ponce. Almost at the 2-year mark. Let's go, baby. Thank you so much, Ponce. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for riding with the channel for a long time. Also, a dedicated member of the Only Spartans Discord. Appreciate it. Welcome to Shot Glass says, my head says, I bet that's delicious. The rest of my digestive tract says, I don't even think about it. Listen, there are trade-offs, okay? In life, in steel, and in the plants you decide to grow in your back. Like everyone's like, man, blackberries, just like pounds and pounds of blackberries in your backyard. That sounds awesome. It is, until like you need to go somewhere for a weekend or you have other stuff to do. And then they start falling and rotting, and then the pests come in, and the flies and the bees and the frickin' bees aren't a pest, but like the hornets, the frickin' beetles, and then the spiders are like, oh, great, shade, all this food source on top of these other food sources. And did I mention that I've got a freaking black widow infestation? I went to war over the weekend with a family of black widows. I open up my grill cabinet, right, to open up the propane, right? And that bastard was sitting right on top of the nozzle. Skeeves me out. Hit him with the shop vac. That was fun. Anyways, Pocket Candy Randy, what's good? He says, soak your socks in diesel before you pick the berries next time. That way the ants will not crawl up your leg and chew on your candy ass. I don't have a problem with ants. Believe it or not, ants are not part of our problem. I should probably knock on wood. We get a lot of beetles, a lot of spiders, a lot of hornets. We had to relocate a beehive, a bee swarm this summer. That was pretty cool. It was actually really cool. What's up, Paperclip? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Guys, the chat is jumping. I'm just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. If you're in the chat and I missed you, keep talking. I promise I'll get to you. Paperclip, what's good, man? He says, I keep my blackberry rows covered in netting. You're a smart man. I am in a rental. The best part is that our landlords are lazy. That also happens to be the worst part, because that means that my lease is already expired. And they don't want to sign a new lease because legally they'd have to start fixing things if they did. And in our lease, we are now month to month. And we reached out to them and said, hey, can we re-sign? we'd like to do a long-term lease here. And but bless their heart, like they're not like, English is not their first language, okay? And they're like, no, we're okay. Like, so do I keep sending the rent checks? What do you mean we're okay? Like, I want to lock in, but nothing. So we just keep paying the rent, and I'm still here. So yeah, can't wait to stop renting. What's up, Larry? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Did I say hi? What's up, B? Mr. Ed B says, I guess I have to say it again since he skipped to the bottom. I want to see the shirt. This is my Hawaiian shirt. It's hot, dude. It's also laundry day. Okay. I didn't have other. Okay, I had other options. Here were my other options: sweater shirt, long sleeve turtleneck, or lightweight. Hear me out. Lightweight Hawaiian shirt. Last time I wore this, I was in Maui. It is getting hot here. We just had rain, which means that temporarily it is also muggy. I don't do well. I don't do well in the humidity, okay? I don't. Love the East Coast. Love the vegetation and the scenery. Hate your guys' humidity. East Coast humidity can go like die in a dark, damp, hot corner. But occasionally in the Pacific Northwest, which does not really have humidity, we get summer rains, and then we get humidity, and I'm not built for that. Yeah, dude, they are freaky. And here's the thing, okay? Like, the stats around Black Widows are massively in favor of, they're not as scary as everyone makes them seem to be, because like they don't actually like confrontation. But and it's true, like they will run away from you unless it's a mother hiding over her egg sac, which guess what was on top of my propane nozzle? That sucker. It gets worse because I was like, I'm gonna smash this. I have a toddler. My toddler doesn't care. My toddler thinks beetles are cool. She probably thinks spiders are cool beetles. I have to smash every Black Widow, like remorselessly. I leave the wolf spiders, like the wolf spiders are massive, but they help with the pest problem. So I go around the corner to grab like this metal bar. I don't know what it's for. Everyone's got them like just randomly out by their yards, but I'm going to smash this sucker. And you know what was hanging off that metal bar? Another freaking Black Widow. And then I decided to get my shop vac, and I just sucked him up. The sucking power of the shop vac. God bless DeWalt. I know, it's a crazy day for me. I'm animated. Don't question it, just go with it. Bond says, my ship notification came at 5:40 EST. Kind of caught me off guard. Ultimately, all it means is they printed the label. It's true. It is true. Printing the label is not the same thing. And here's what you guys need to know about shipping. Okay, so like, I have a label printer. You buy a knife from me right now, and I can print the label. It's 8:20 p.m. You know who's not open right now? All the couriers. UPS isn't open. The post office isn't open. I could still print the label. I could do that. UPS, if that person drops it off at UPS and like does the self-scan, they immediately get, like, it immediately updates the tracking that the package was dropped off. If they hand it to a person, that's not always the case. Sometimes it takes a bit for that tracking to update. The post office doesn't update the tracking until it leaves the location, which is sometimes like 5 hours later. So someone could send you something via the post office and be like, yeah, no, I dropped it off, we're good. And they're like, and you look at the track, you're like, what happened? I don't see, like, there's nothing. It says that the label was created. What is this? Post office doesn't care. The post office doesn't care. Speaking of knives that I'm selling, guys, hold on one hot 2 minute. Where did I put mine? I'm gonna have to look for mine. Guys, most recent video is out on the Remet Orca, another button frame lock. I got a few to sell to you, and you guys, you came through, and that rhymes. I've got one left. I'm keeping my review unit. I'm keeping the Ultimate Warrior camo carbon variant. I ran a poll, and like the poll massively had this guy, the copper carbon fiber DLC variant, as the favorite one. So I got two of these. This is the one I have left for sale. You want it, I'll ship it to you direct. If you want the details, and trust me, if you want one of these and you're planning on, even if you're planning on buying one anyways, there is a benefit from buying from me. Send me an email, rollshambo.edc@gmail.com. It's in the description of every single one of my videos. If you're interested, hit me up. One left, last chance. If you're buying one anyways, you want to hit me up. Last one. And here's the deal. I'm okay if this doesn't sell. If this doesn't sell, I'm fine, because I kind of wanted to keep an extra one anyways. But I just thought I'd let you guys know there is one left. Hold on. Mr. Paul Mills, good to see you, man. He seems unsettled tonight. What are you talking about? I'm unsettled every night. Paperclip says, how y'all doing this week? I got a tracking number of the knife for your delivery. I decided not to check it, lest I find myself posting in the shipping nightmares. It's there for catharsism. Yeah, that's the word. Ed says it's Black Widows and the lack of getting in on the new Blade HQ poop knife. I'll get one eventually. They promised. They promised. What's up, Delaney? Good to see you, dude. Hold on. Tiff, ask Roll to stand up so we can see the whole shirt. Maybe he'll listen to you. What? You got, like, I'll wait for Tiff to ask me. What's up, Rob? Good to see you, man. Welcome to Mr. Rob's Nerdy Knives. Good to see you, dude. Oh, speaking of fellow collectors, I know that some of you guys are going to be like, don't care. I see the logo, know the maker, automatically not interested. I got a good one. I got a good one. And if you have predetermined biases based off of political standing or whatever, I want you to set those aside for a second and just admire this with me, because this one is hard to get. Ooh. The lighting isn't doing it justice. I'm going to try to get it. This is blue. Freaking lighting. The lighting isn't doing it justice because, like, the angle of my light. I have it all dramatic, right? Like with the light shining in on one area and the dark in half. To me, it's cool, but it sucks for showcasing knives. Hold on. It's freaking blue. This is a Tsunami Maki Slim Midi Dragon Tonto. For those who know, you know that these are not easy to get. And this is not one of the flat ground versions. This is a hollow ground version. What do you mean? I thought all of his Tontos had a compound grind. No, they don't. They don't. If you ever see one of Medford's Tontos with the straight line instead of this curvature right there, that means that it is not a compound grind. It is just a Tonto with two flat grinds. S45 yen. The Tsunami Maki. Every time I showed pictures of this to people, they're like, oh, that's cool, so it's wrapped. No. No, it's just detailed. It's detailed to look like a samurai sword hilt. These are hard to get. These are limited release. Look at that. I'm pretty positive those are laser engraved. And here's the thing. The Slim Midi is not. It is not a frickin' pry bar. And it's not running on washers. It's running on bearings. It's really freaking good. It's really freaking good. If you don't generally like Medfords, you might like a Slim Midi in general. The Problem is that I like to carry all my knives. I'm having a hard time getting used to carrying this because it's so freaking beautiful. But I carried it today. I have one complaint on this. Design complaint. One design complaint. I'm going to save it for a video. Everything else I love about it, truly. If you could find a tsumami, not tsunami. Initially, I thought that it was misspelled, but it's not. It's tsumami maki slim midi. It's the samurai version, the dragon tanto version, and he does it on all of his, well, or at least some of his models. I know he does it on the Marauder and the Marauder H and the slim midi. I don't think he did it on a Praetorian, but it's the coolest thing he does. These are hard to get. You look this up right now on eBay, for example, on the sold listings, because you have to find one even on eBay. And the very last one that sold, with a blemish, mind you, sold at $900. This was hiding on a shelf at the retail price, which is not $900. It was lower. I love it. Super excited about that one. Also, oh, damn it, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. This guy right here. Boom. There's some modification that went on with this guy. This is, I screwed this knife up and then I had to re-acid wash and tumble and stone wash the blade myself. And I made the choice to mask the swedge. And I'm still working on it. I'm going to do a mirror swedge. Ooh, and I already sharpened it. And it's bit me twice now. It just bit me again. 17 degrees per side on this TR3 Integrity in Magna Cut, not S35, in Magna Cut. This is a slicey boy. I love this. This is a great carry. It's a great carry. I love the way they did the clip. This is a DLC distressed clip with the distressed battle-worn finish. See that flat spot on there with the reptile scales? Like, this is baller, dude. Love this. The finish on here is really, really freaking cool. I screw up the blade finish, not the handle finish. Those scales, pun intended, those scales are freaking cool. They're the best dragon-looking scales. Oh, son of a gun. Bit myself again. It's not bad. Shouldn't have happened, though. I'm going to stop playing with knives. We're just going to do everyone else's pocket checks tonight. That's what's new for me. Damn it. I got other knives in, though, for review. This is part of the latest release from Nyclad. Yes, content on this is going to be coming. I've got a lot of content to make. This one is the Lyran. Not sure how to say it. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. For the most part, Nyclad listened, and all the things you loved about the last several models that I mentioned, they repeated, and they also made some worthy updates. This is a bolster lock, so not a liner lock, bolster lock. You can get this in luminous green. It's not focusing on my face. You get it in luminous green. The pocket clip is no longer an issue. Pocket clip works great. They standardized hardware, and it's not in S35VN, it's in M390, which I know some of you guys are like, I would have rather had S35. S35VN is not as good as M390, I'm sorry. It's not as wear resistant. It's not as corrosion resistant. Nyclad is doing a good job. And the action on this is phenomenal. Kind of reminds me a little bit. It's kind of Sparrow Strix-esque. It kind of reminds me of the One Track Mind Ire a little bit. Cinema. It's cinema. My discount code still works. Code Rollshambo will get you 10% off. It's a $200 knife, which means that's $20. Get Get a Lyran. They're awesome. If you see some of their other new models out, those are pretty good too. The Lyran, I'm just giving you guys a heads up now. The Lyran is the one to get. It is the one to get. If you're gonna get one, if you can only get one, get the Lyran. Yeah. Not sure what I'm doing with my sound effects tonight. Coming out of my face. I'm so far behind on the chat. It's not even funny. What's up, man? Good to see you. I thought I said hi, but we'll say hi again. I'm trying to get my scroll bar. There it is. I'm trying to get my scroll bar to pop up. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yo, what's up, Sever? Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Paul, what's up, man? Did I say hi? If I didn't, what's up, dude? He says it can be a pry bar. It's thick compared to what I normally cut. What do you normally cut with? Like, slim middies are not, like, this is not overly thick. Like, it's not the thinnest knife that I have. It's not like Neutron 2 thickness, you know. It's not Neutron 2 thickness, but it's what, Spyderco Para 3 thickness? Probably, maybe even thinner. Let's see. Para 3 thickness. Let's see. Which one? Which one? Ah, don't do that. It's thinner than a Para 3. Spine thickness. It's thinner than a Para 3. Look at that. Like, this is super EDC-able, guys. I'm gonna be mad at myself. I banged it together and scratched that. That's not the kind of wear and tear that I like to put on my knives, because that's just thoughtless. There's no story behind it. It's just me being dumb. Did I scratch it? Did I scratch it? There is a tiny mark that's insubstantial. We're just gonna act like that didn't happen. But now I have an excuse to carry it, so was it intentional? Maybe. That's not the hilt. Okay. Glenn Poet says that's a good looking Medford. It is, man. Like, I understand the designs are not for everybody. Not every design is for everybody. If I had to pick one to show to someone that's not a Medford fan or is actively against them, but they like cool knives or knives that are worth checking out, it would be this one. It'd be the Slim Midi. They're hard to get. It was a good day. It was a really good day. Frank says, is that a recurve? I don't think so. Nope. It has the it has the you're talking about this, right? It's not a recurve. The edge bevel widens a bit towards the edge termination. Here's a fun fact, because that's where it's thicker. And it causes the illusion that that is in fact recurved, but it's not. Let me see, do I have something flat? I guess I could use my phone. Yeah. Doesn't look like a recurve to me. It's causing the visual illusion, though. When metal gets thicker, the edge bevel gets wider. I wouldn't be surprised if it had been, though, because Medford is not known for his accuracy on edge termination at all. Staten Island, good to see you, dude. Welcome in. Shot Glass says, waiting eagerly for the Boston EMP Nimble to come out. All others must wait. Speaking of videos that I'm way behind the 8 ball on making. Look, I love this guy. I'm really getting into the aluminum handle scale premium steel EDC knives. They just feel good to carry. You know, like you get a certain level of premium. but at the same time, like the handle scales are aluminum, you're not worried about it. And oftentimes, a hard coat anodizing is really scratch resistant. Like this one's been thrown around in my pocket. At one point, it dropped to the floor of my car and got kicked around while I was like driving. I know you shouldn't play with knives while you're driving, but I'll do what I want. Paul says, I've never handled the Slim MIDI. Might be thinner than I'm thinking. That's why they call it the Slim MIDI. So the Slim MIDI is what Medford refers to as like business class. He frequently advertises. Hold on. Let me see. Slim MIDI spine thickness. What is it, like 120 thousandths? Thickness. 100 up. Okay. Your message is blocking it, but yeah. 125 thousandths. And if we were to compare that to, say, like I think Oz Roosevelt is what, point like 90 thousandths? No, 112 thousandths. Spine thickness is close to an Oz Rosie. Am I saying that it's as slicey as an Oz Rosie? No. Rosie is very slicey. What I am saying is that it's not thick. It is very thin. That's why he calls it the Slim, and it makes for a very EDC-able knife. Very, very much so. I want another one. I want a plain Jane that I can mess with and feel good about, because recently picked up a vibratory tumbler, which is a lot of fun to help with finishes. I'm trying to get the hang of finishes. So like I can do mirror, I can do semi-polish, I can do now I can do a good like consistent stone wash. I can do an acid wash. Anyways, some of you guys might remember got my fingerprints all over it. Some of you guys might remember my swish buoy, Spyderco swish buoy that I'd done a semi polish on, and I liked that finish, but it was just a fingerprint darkness magnet, and I was like, you know what? With this new tumbler, let's try to do like a tumbled frosted stone wash finish, and here's how that came out. Look at that. Not bad, huh? Not bad. I really like how that came out. This is the Knife Joy edition, by the way, which means that it was originally a kind of subpar blue. Now it's the finish that I think everyone, at least I know that I wanted. I wanted this, right? Like I wanted more of a tumbled, natural titanium stone wash. And this one is not like a traditional stone wash. Like this one was just done in the tumbler. If I'd put it in a box of, like a bottle of rocks, I could have given it a more traditional stone wash, but this is perfect. Like this is uniform. This feels great. You know what the best part about this is? I don't have to worry about carrying the knife and getting stupid snail trails on it. I can throw this anywhere I want. Oh no, it's got an ugly scratch that I don't like that I'm just going to hyper focus on. I'll just throw it back in the tumbler. A couple minutes here or there. It's good as gravy. That's what I'm saying, man. It'll buff out. That's exactly what I'm saying. All right. I've been ignoring Ed's request to see the whole shirt for as long as I can. All right. When the channel mods say they want to see the whole shirt. Oh. Yeah. Am I mowing the lawn? Am I on vacation? Am I trying to embarrass my kids in the school pickup line? I'll let you decide. Thanks, man. I really like it. It's been on my list for a long time, and I found it by accident. Thank you, Rolls, aka Leroy Jenkins. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you're like, what is he talking about? Just look up Leroy Jenkins. Millennials and early YouTube enthusiasts will know. I didn't even see it, dude. But I just gave you what you wanted. The Hawaiian shirt. And I'm not sorry. Like this would have been a good choice even if it wasn't laundry day, because it's hot and humid. I'm not built for humidity. And I don't feel insecure saying that either. 61 watching, only 33 tickles. Please, guys, Spartan, kick the like button. We are going to get into some pocket checks, which a lot of you guys have told me is your favorite part. But we're going to try to do it quickly. Let me see. Is today the day? Today's not the day. The last live stream of the month will be on the 29th. There will be a giveaway. Just giving you guys a heads up. There will be a giveaway on the last live stream of the month. And I'm going to try to do that consistently on the last live stream of every month. I'll try to have cool stuff, new stuff, multiple options. No matter what, the drawing will always be based off of the pocket check. So, another reason to join the Discord. What's the Discord? You ask? Nobody asked, but I'll tell you anyways. The Discord is the community that I'm building. This is the Only Spartans Discord, specifically in the live stream pocket check channel. I am going to refresh this and scroll all the way down to the bottom. We're going to start from the bottom, guys, and scroll up. I used to start from the top and scroll down, and then the whole live stream would just be the pocket check. I got way too much that I want to talk about and check out. So we're going to get it popping. Again, if you want in on the giveaway, that will be happening on the last live stream of the month, which will be Wednesday the 29th. So a week from today, we'll do a giveaway. And it will be based off of the live stream pocket check. I haven't decided yet. Am I going to do an entry for every pocket check participation that a person has done throughout the month? I can simply download the data from Discord to tell me like who posted in the live stream pocket check, like an actual photo, and just count the entries. And that's how many entries you get. One per day. One per live stream, rather. So don't just go posting in there willy-nilly. It'll be based off of live stream interaction. But I think that might actually be a good way to do it. Encourage some more interaction throughout the month. I only have good ideas. No, I don't. I'm cracking bad jokes because I'm trying to give people time. We are going to go ahead and start off with Mr. Rene Ramon. I'm afraid to click on videos. I have no idea what I'm clicking play on. That looks so good. It's the Everburn EDC. What's it called? The something wolf. Something. I know it's Everburn EDC. I know what that is. It's skipping my mind. My poor working memory just refuses to work when I'm on the spot with these. What is it? What is it? What is it? I know what it is. The other one is a knife that Is that a bug out with custom handles and a reblade? Who did the reblade? That's cool, man. I like it. Victor Blades has got a couple good ones. Look at that. He's got that's the Rec Knives production knife. I forget the name of it. I'm not going to get it. And that, of course, is a version 1 tri-stash. Super cool. Button frame lock. And then, of course, he's also got a Gen... Is that a Gen 2 Lamia? My word. Or is that Gen... Wait. I'm going to try to date this real quick. It's hard because like I can't see the steel, and even if I could, I'd probably get it messed up. This is one of the earlier generations because it's not contoured, and because you have the full thickness nature grip milling. Later, he moved to a contoured instead of a chamfered, and he reduced the depth of the nature grip milling, which is kind of a shame. Doesn't keep it from being a good knife on the new Gen 4 Lamias. I'm going to say this is either a Gen 1 or Gen 2. I don't think it's Gen 1 because those are really hard to come by. I think this is a Gen 2 Nature Grip Lamia. If I had to guess the steel, I would say it was L Max. Vic, I got to know, man. Am I close? Is that a Gen 2 Lamia in L Max? He only did so many. He says, SPK Lamia Evening Carry. Am I right, though? Am I right, though? I need to know. Rob says, Roll, did you get in on the 3 recent drops? Magnamax Manix 2, Blade HQ, M4 Tonto, PM2, or Trevor Berger Thumb Studs and Fullard Dakar? You must have missed my long monologue at the beginning. I did not. I did not. I was in queue raging with the rest of the peasantry. I didn't get the Tonto. Did not get the Tonto. I also didn't get the either 2 that you mentioned either. 3. Yeah. I had plenty of chances to get the Magnamax Manix 2. There's going to be plenty of those. I'm not rushed, okay? I'm not rushed. And the one that I wanted the most, we'll get back to the pocket check here in a second, guys. I'm not rushing it. I already have the one that I wanted most. I already have the 15V Manix 2 lightweight. What's annoying is that I was hunting for one of these specifically because Barclay CNC said that they were going to do some convertible scales and asked if I'd be interested in helping them launch them. When I say convertible, I mean that they were making and planning Manix 2 scales that could work for either the lightweight or the G10 version, which for those of you who like to add scales to your Spydercos and make them super premium and fun and different, that's cool because normally you have to pick, right? Like if you get a G10 version, you have to get scales that fit the G10 version. If you get the lightweight version, you have to, there's not as many options for the lightweight. It seems like all the cool scales out there in titanium are made for the full, G10 version. So when they told me, as someone that just cannot leave stuff alone, I should have named my channel FAFO EDC, I swear. I am not capable of leaving anything well enough alone. When they said convertible, I was like, oh, I'm on it. I will find a donor knife. We will get it done, baby. And I'll do it a lightweight so that we can show just how cool these scales are. I was pumped. Channel member sold me, traded me this, and I was through the roof. And I reached out to Barclay and I said, I got it. I got the 15V Manix 2 lightweight. Let's go. And they said, we ran into an issue. We can't get the certain tolerances right. Something's not clicking. So it's the project is on hold indefinitely. We're not gonna get rid of the project, but it's on hold indefinitely. Tell me you just shelved something to come back to at a later date when you're bored. I'm not making the damn thing, so I get it. But now I've got a Manix 2 lightweight in 15V that I've held on to the stock format of in FRN scales that I'm not a fan of with a wire clip that I don't like because I'm waiting on Barclay. But this is the one. This is the one that I'd want the most. I will have a Manix 2 in Magnamax. It's hard for me to prioritize it right now. Maybe when Barclay actually, gets their convertible scales figured out, I'll have a really good excuse because then I can showcase how they go on both. Right? Right? Okay. But no, I didn't get in on it. Steve says the Spyderco Charisma is flexible thin. I don't like that, man. Like, I like thin. I do. But I like thin and sturdy. Thin and sturdy feels quality, right? Like when you get a thin titanium knife. Like a good example of this is, it's in the knife library, but it's the Porcupine Tie Slim, right? Like that is thin. They made a whole line of Tie Slim knives and people go bananas over them. That's a good example. But when they're thin and flexible, they feel cheap. And I'm not talking about the price, I'm talking about like the quality. Thin and flexible it feels cheap. Thin and sturdy, quality. Thin and flexible, eh. On the Edge, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. I'm monologuing for a while. We need to get back to the pocket check. But before we do, Bradford Mitchell with the $5 super. I missed it. I'm sorry, Brad. I know you probably put that up a long time ago. I'm sorry. He says, you should have worn the turtleneck. That shirt is hideous. Plus, what about the Les George snafu on telling time? Oh, I heard about that. Les George dropped the VEC P, the VECP. I'll call it the VEC P because I don't feel like saying VECP. The VEC P is very, very much very well sought after. If you're new to collecting, you might not know this. Les George, VEC P, frame lock specifically is it's very sought after in the collector space. It's on everyone's list. It's on my list. They're gettable-ish, but there's a lot of demand for them. He announced that there was going to be a drop today at noon. Or at least that's what my eyes and ears told me. Noon. You want a VEC P? Noon. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, no, apparently he, Mr. Les George forgot that there was a difference between 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. Dropped a disappointment. And of course, the Night Owl bots or whoever's up at midnight who was like, I wonder, I bet Les was drinking and forgot. And we'll be on the website at midnight. They were on the website at midnight and they sold out 12 hours in advance of when they were supposed to be launched. Ouch. I'm bummed, but that's not, like, I didn't think I had a chance on that anyways. On the Edge, thank you for being a channel member for 15 months. Thanks for riding with the channel. I appreciate it. Mr. Sever7 with the $2 super says, can you look at the KB Husky heavy hinderer vibes? That's a Hoback design. Listen. There's so much. Hoback was smart-ish. He waited. He bided his time. The community grows. People leave. New people come in. People forget. People have short memories. But for those who have been in the space for a minute, you might remember the whole Hoback Knives debacle. Many people, myself included, bought a Hoback Sumo that looked freaking gorgeous. Plunge button lock during a time when plunge button lock wasn't a swear word. And all over the internet, it was $500 incredible USA made knife. These were sought after because the community thought they were made in America, but they weren't. Excuses. Finally, some accountability. He was like detested. I know. I dropped a video on my Sumo after that, and people just came into the comments just to talk shit about Hoback knives. The honesty thing aside, the designs were good. He did make some in the US and some he had made in China. The Sumo was one of those he had made in China. The Husky was the other. What was it, 2 or 3 years go by? Short memories, but in knife years, those are dog years. And all of a sudden, the Sumo is re-released as a KB Knives model. They weren't the original OEM. The original OEM on what everyone thought was a USA made. I think that was Wee Knives. The quality was way too good for, like, it was not just good, but it was good. It's also like, you know, $500, so it should be. All right, you want to look at the KB Husky before I get locked in on a rabbit hole, and then we go back to the pocket check, which we will, I promise. I know, side quest. Let's do it. KB Husky says, given heavy hinderer vibes. Hinderer. You talk about this guy. This is a Greg Hoback design. Look at that. You know what it is? It's the flipper tab. It's the pocket pecker. The pocket peckerino. The reason why is because of the pocket pecorino. This was a common design for the time that this was originally released. Pocket peckers were more common as a common design element, specifically like this. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, like there's some trends in knife making and knife design that you just see based off of the era, okay? For example, think about like Ernie Emerson and I'm talking like the godfathers of EDC knives, okay? So like I'll just pull it up. Ernest Emerson. Ernest Emerson, what is it? CQB? Yeah. When I talk about common design elements that are based on the time, I'm not talking about this. This is what he's most famous for, which is the Emerson Wave, which is a really cool story because it happened by accident, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that initially, I'm talking about this, the jimping ramp, okay? This is very era specific. He's not the only one that did this. Les George has done this. Let's do this. Les George knives. Les George. That's not where I parked my car. I'm just like shotgunning it out there. Oh, look. Era specific jimping ramp. Common design elements that stick out. So, the reason why I'm going to say yes, but also no, is because that's very era specific. This type of pocket pecker was very era specific to both the XM18 and the Hoback Husky. The question is, can you fail it? I think so. I don't think this flipper tab is high enough up. I think it has the potential to be failable because it's not higher than the center point of the pivot according to this picture, which is kind of like, you know, physics. That doesn't mean that it will fail. It just means that there's more involved in tuning, like the detent, for example, and the lock bar strength to make it unfailable. I've never handled one. It never really, you know, it never really called my name, to be quite frank. The Kubi or KB knives that I like is the Sumo. And I'm kind of kicking myself now. Like I had this one, but it was cool because it was the original version. It was the original fraudster version, which was still very well made. I just overpaid for it. And then I sold it and recouped. And now I kind of miss it. Like the design is still there. Now you can get it, you know, for $280 instead of $560. But now it's made by Kubi and not by like Wee Knives. Anyways, we're going to get back to the Discord. Thank you, dude, for the $2 super. I appreciate it. Hold on. Hold that thought. If If you're wondering why I'm shaking up my water, it's because there's both ice and blackberries in here. Cheat code for the live stream. Refreshments. Blackberry water. Hell yeah. I rinse the blackberries first. You never know how high the dogs can reach with their aim. I don't go for the low-hanging fruit. So I shake it and it's like, boom, blackberry water. Alice Stays, what's good, dude? He says, looks like an arched back hinder if it was 80-year-old man. Look, it's just era specific. It's just era specific. Dirty Dan says, one of the worst cuts from an Emerson wave, open up too soon in the pocket, slice the shit out of the finger. I feel like everyone that has had a knife with an Emerson wave has done this. I have done this. It sucks, dude, because that wave sticks out and unintentionally it gets snagged on stuff inside your pocket, and it'll open it just a little bit. And so you got to reach in your pocket, expecting to get a handle like a knife scale, and instead you get just the tip, which sucks so bad. Who shot JR? Era specific. I don't know who you're talking about. Who did shoot JR? Who's JR? I'm so confused. The Husky costs as much as a Hinderers. It does? What Hinderer is $280? Or are you talking like secondary market pricing? I like flippers, hate that tap. A lot of people hated the pocket pecker. Right around the time that Nick Shabazz started calling them pocket peckers. It's crazy, guys, because when we talk about design elements that are hated, they are always design elements that the community originally started out by loving. Crossbar locks, plunge locks, pocket peckers. All design elements that the community initially loved. And they loved it so much, companies made too many of them, and then they went from loved to hated. Which I think is pretty funny. I digress. Vic, did you answer, dude? I monologued too long. Is that a Gen 2 and LMAX, good sir? I need to know. It is a early Gen 4, according to the seller. Is this contoured though? I don't think he did, because if this is not contoured, and it doesn't look contoured, this looks chamfered. I might not know as much about Lemmy as I think I do. I'll accept. It's not the hands, it's defeat. Louie's got, you know who didn't miss out? Lou Dog. Lou Dog has got a PM2 Tonto blacked out, and he's also got a Rincon, quiet carry Rincon. You don't see those a whole lot. That's from the most recent release, right? The most recent Rincon release. I need to know, because I got a lot of friends that tell me that it's not that great, and then I've got like one or two friends that tell me that it's amazing. How do you like the Rincon? Let me know. Skull's got the White Wednesday Imperial Kalashnikov Auto case, Dos Equis Copper Lock, most interesting knife. The Jack Wolf Gateway Stockman. Look at that. The Dos Equis, the most interesting knife. I think the first time you showed that, I was like, the 2X case knife. It's the Dos Equis. Ryan's got that's what I'm talking about. That's a one-track mind ire, okay? That's what this knife reminds me of, is the one-track mind ire. Let's see. The blade, at least on the blade shape. It's close. This is more of a snub nose tip. This is much more cleaver-esque and less like Harpoon Warncliffe-esque. That one's got less belly. It's more aggressive. This is so good though. So good. I like that ire. That ire is pretty sweet. On the chessboard, no less. What are you ranked, Ryan? What's your ranking? You play competitively? I had to try so hard just now not to quote the Harry Potter movie. I'm such a nerd. Jim's got the Fenrir. Okay, so this knife broke my mind, right? Because I've checked out so many concept and tenable Fenrirs at this point that it's ingrained in me. I saw this, I'm like, why are they calling that the Fenrir? They already have a popular knife called the Fenrir. Like, that's dumb. And then I started to notice things like, oh. They're just considering it the same knife but a different blade shape. Kind of like how there's the Umnums on Tanto and the Umnums on Drop Point. Same knife, different blade shape. Like, it'll be okay. But did anyone else see this initially and be like, why are they calling that the Fenrir? Oh, they just changed the blade shape. The handles are still the same. But does it count when they do it? I don't know. Is it still good? I don't know. I haven't checked this one out. This looks to be like a more utilitarian blade shape for the Fenrir. And I believe that is their top liner lock or a button liner lock. I like the handles. Yeah, I like those handles. Jim's got a good one. He's got a Warntack. That looks familiar. I'm trying to remember who I sold my Warntack to. I sold my Warntack and I don't remember to who or to whom. Jim, if you're still out there, buddy, did you buy this one from me? I'm trying to remember who I sold my Warntack to. He's got... Is that an Artisan Sea Snake? I'm going to cheat. Hey, it is an Artisan Sea Snake. He only had to show it to me like 500 times for me to remember that. And he's got a Rosecraft Snake Creek. It's got a Snake Creek. The Rosecraft Snake Creek Copperhead and the Warntack. Who did I sell my Warntack to? Rob's got... Dude, he's got the Magnamax Manix 2. He's got the Cerberus Aurelius. That's not the F-type from the most recent drop, is it? I needs to know. He's got a TRM Bulldog with the Jade G10 scales. How do you like these rock scales on there? I'm curious. Very cool. Lion's got a Gecko Custom Sakura. He's got a Kershaw Livewire. And he's got a Gecko Customs Pictus. I borrowed a Pictus from a channel member a while ago, and it was very much enjoyable. Speaking of knives that I borrowed, shout out to my man Knife Dope, because Knife Dope sent me a package with no expectations. Like, I was having a down day, and he's like, "Is your address still the same?" And I said, "Yeah." It's like, "I'm sending you a box." I'm like, "Cool, what's in the box?" And he's like, "You'll have to open it to find out." So it arrives, and it's got 3 really awesome knives in there. And I'm like, these are all bangers. Like, there's no obligation. You don't, I just wanted you to check these out. You don't have to do a review. You don't have to do nothing. My review queue is like bad. I need to pick it up. I need to do something. So I don't know if I'll do reviews for these, but I'll show you guys what he sent. Hang on. I've got 2 Custom Knife Factory pouches and a microtech signature series. I'm going to start with the microtech. I already opened all of these, by the way. Jason, I don't know if you're out there, dude. I don't know. Like, I know you're on the East Coast, so it's probably past your bedtime. I know you get up early. But thank you. I already said thank you, but officially, publicly, thank you for loaning these to me. You didn't give these to me. If you'd given these to me, I would have been wondering, like, where do we need to bury the body? The first one that he sent is one that I've been really curious about. This is the Ramlock Mini MSI with those big old thumb studs. Angled milling, which I'll be honest is not necessarily my first choice. My first choice is usually frag pattern. Ooh, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. I've had several people tell me that they like this better than the Ramlock LUDT. I love my Ramlock LUDT. I do. I do. I've had this for all of about like 2 minutes now. I need to decide. I need to decide which one I like better. But I will say this without having to pick one, because I think now that it's not a matter of if, but when I pick up one of my own. I might go with the angled milling like this. That might be the play. Every Ramlock knife needs to come with thumb stud deployment. I said it. I said it. Now that doesn't mean that I don't like this guy. This is the mini stitch. My next video is going to be released on the mini stitch. I'm editing it as we speak. As we speak. This knife has been getting a ton of carry time. That's why I got debris and tape and crap all over it. No thumb stud. But Ramlocks are just better with thumb studs. I'm going to need a mini amphibian. I'm going to need my own mini MSI. I think I'm gonna have to go with the angled milling. This is really good. I don't know if I like this better or not. It's really freaking good though. If you don't generally like the Ramlock, you might like this. If you like the LUDT Ramlock, you will love this. This is the perfect size for me. It's a little bit smaller than the Ramlock LUDT. These are contoured scales. The titanium milling is perfect. Now, this isn't brand new. I know he's broken it in. Damn it. I need to put this away. This is dangerous. It's dangerous. I need to put that away immediately. You guys have seen the mini MSIs. They've been out for a while, since like the beginning of the year. I'm going to put it away. A lot of you guys are like, boo, microtech. Microtech is equally loved and hated. That's why people call it the evil empire. I just like knives. I'm over here showing microtechs and medbirds and like I don't have a conscience. He also sent this guy. This is unfairly good. This is unfairly good. This is the Custom Knife Factory Brat. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that Zerkatai clip. Milled out lane for the pocket clip. Like you're going to carry this with that Zerkatai clip. I mean, you probably could. Zerkatai is actually not like Timascus. It doesn't scratch as easily. Inset liner lock, which is stout enough to be a freaking frame lock. The act... I'm going to be bleeding by the end of the... That is unfairly good. Unfairly good in the action department. You don't have to make a video. Don't have to make a video. He knew what he was doing. This is stupidly fun to deploy, and the CKF Brat is not one that I would have like aesthetically picked out of a crowd, but it's one of those that you handle it and you're like, oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Screw you, Jason. Are you selling this one? Can I buy it off you? What do you want? What do you want? That's so good. I don't normally get this crazy about thumb stud deployment, but it's really stupidly good. CKF Brat. It's a Conagen design. Can you even buy these right now? I think it's like the gnome where it just gets discontinued and like occasionally brought back. I need to put this away. This one's dangerous. And then the other CKF is designed by a man whose knives I have always coveted visually, but have never actually handled. I'm definitely going to need to change that. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my word. Yes, that is crystal titanium. This is the Tashi Baruka Justice. Look at that. Look at that freaking the octagonal honeycomb pattern with that, like, talk about stupidly good looking. Are you kidding me? Like that could be a freeze frame thumbnail right there with the crystal tie. This is the Justice. Flipper action is good. Drop action is good. Visually speaking, this is badass. The Justice, when it were originally released, I saw it and I was like, ooh, I want that. And then I was unable to justify spending that much on a knife made in China because there were so many American-made knives in that same price point that I just couldn't. But the quality behind this is staggering. Look at that. Look at that, the Justice. Do they still sell these? I swear I saw one recently. Are they still expensive? We'll check after I finish up the pocket check, guys. I just wanted to take a moment out of our pocket check to say thank you to Knife Dope for cheering a Knife Bro up, sending some cool stuff my way. And I'm not buying it that you don't expect me to make a video. You knew what you were doing. You're like, you'll put it on the list. You knew. You can't send me 3 awesome knives like this. He's like, you don't have to do it right away. There's no time frame. You're just borrowing them. There's no sweat. You don't have to do a video. Stop it. Stop it. We'll do a video. I've got to catch up on some other videos first, but we'll do one. We'll do one. These are really, really freaking cool. I'm going to put them over here and keep them together. Oh, okay. Cicero, you've been a channel member for 16 months. Let's go, baby. Cicero says, I'll trade you that knife for my address. Which knife? For what address? I'm so confused. Staten says, Rolls, I love them both. The question is, do I get the mini MSI titanium now for the trifecta? For sure, I'm not getting the mini stitch. Don't love it. I want to tell you to wait till I release my video because I'm literally editing it right now. The live stream audience isn't like the biggest part of my viewership, so I suppose I can give you guys the details. This is the mini stitch. People either love this or hate this. I love it for several reasons. I see this as a direct competitor to the Spyderco Para 3, and that is blasphemous to many people. I said competitor. I've carried this a lot since it came in. One of the things people complained about with the M stitch, the mini stitch, is the action. So good. Specifically, you get to right around here and it goes, and it feels like it grinds a little bit. Like it's got these little divots like right there. But what it is that is the point at which the most pressure is contacting the radius spine of the blade, right? So that's why before they're broken in, that's what you feel. Kind of like the spine of the blade right here. You have to think of that as the detent path, right? Like when you get a new frame lock knife and it's got a brushed finish, or let's say a Damascus, it's made of Damascus, right? The out of the box action on those situations, or even a coated, is never good. Why? Because the detent ball has to wear a track into the blade, and then once it does, all of a sudden it's all silky smooth. You know, Bob's your uncle. It's no different on these. I have now tried four ram lock knives, and they all felt like that initially. I'm talking like tried them brand new. If you wear it in over time, that will actually go away. Kind of like the detent track on a frame lock gets smoother. You don't have to wait. Why? Because these are easy to take apart and put back together. And you don't have to worry about putting pressure on a lock bar to break it in earlier and potentially creating a late lock bar. What you could do is take this apart, take a leather strop that's loaded with some compound. I mean, you don't even need diamond compound. Just get like the green compound and just roll the spine of the blade like this. 10 seconds. Put the knife back together and it's fully broken in, and that action is smooth. Even when you slow roll it, there's like smooth. You'll notice that there's less hitching. There's no hitching right here. And you can always tell because when you look at the spine of the blade and you're feeling the hitching, you'll actually see it. You'll actually see like the little divots, the little pressure divots, because there's always a tiny bit of lube back there. Maybe I can show it on mine. Yeah, you can actually sit on this one. I have not manually broken in this one yet. Let me see you see those little marks right there? That effectively means that it hasn't naturally broken in yet. Those are the divots that people are talking about when they complain about the action. They naturally wear in. And that's what's happening on this one. Like I have not manually worn this one in, but the action is already getting much smoother there. Like you feel like a little bit of divot-y, but it only gets smoother and smoother and smoother because as the ram lock bar contacts spine of the blade, it smooths it out over time. Super easy to accelerate it. If you do that on the M stitch, your action will improve tenfold. And then aesthetically speaking, it's just badass. I love it. Everyone's welcome to their own opinions. But if you're someone that doesn't like the M stitch because you felt that gritty action and you're like, can't do it. I'm telling you, if it was just the action, you missed out. Because that's not the end game with that knife. That's like deciding that a knife has bad action because you didn't wait for the detent track to wear in on a frame lock. Vic, I'm not saying that that's you, brother. I'm just talking to the general you, like the general public. Because I got a lot of people asking about the M stitch because they saw that I carried it a lot. They said, what do you think of the action? The action on these sucks. I'm like, well, did you break it in? No. How do you break it in? People don't talk about it. I'll talk about it. What's up, comment? We're going to get back to the pocket check, guys. Dirty Dan says, no way M stitch can compare to the Para 3. Para 3 cuts way better. I mean, they have different blade shapes, okay? I can tell you right now, I think that they are very comparable knives, believe it or not. Let me just see here. Yep. M stitch, I believe, is actually a little bit thinner on the blade stock, but the Para 3 has the added benefit of staying thinner for longer. Why? Because it's a full flat versus this, which is a saber flat. See how like it's a saber flat grind. So, you know, it goes from here, which is actually thinner. Believe it or not, I did this measurement before I did my video. The M stitch is thinner behind the edge stock than a Para 3. However, the Para 3 keeps its thinness for longer. They both have a very similar height of blade geometry. And the Para 3 is one of my most carried knives of all time. People ask me frequently over the years, what is your most carried knife? Some form or factor, it's Spyderco Para 3. It's just a good carry knife. It is like every company at some point tries to make a knife to compete with the Spyderco Para 3. Is it better? Potato, tomato, everyone's got their opinions. It's subjective to the individual. But there is absolutely no issue on the cutting performance of the M stitch at all. I didn't just carry it because I thought it looked cool. I carried it because it was a good performer. It still is. I have cut through a ton of cardboard with this. Cardboard is my most common use case scenarios because, you know, recycling day. And I get a lot of boxes, okay? I've got 3 Para 3s. And for the first couple months that this came in, my Para 3s didn't see the light of day. Why? Not because all of a sudden I hated the Para 3 or I was just stuck in the honeymoon phase, but because it performs well. It's got really good cutting geometry. I figured out how to break in the action immediately. I actually kind of like the little applause it does at the end. That means that the spring is stiff. It was just one of those knives that you reach for without thinking about because you enjoy carrying it and there's no choice to be made. You just reach for it because you're like, oh, I got to go about my day. I'm just going to grab something real quick. The knife that you inherently reach for without thinking about, that's your EDC. I'm not saying it's the best knife in your collection. I'm just saying like that's a clear EDC choice. It's the decision you don't think about. People that have, you know, just started in this hobby, they're like, how many knives do you have to pick from? You have no idea. I have a whole file cabinet that I call the knife library. And guess what it's filled with? Options. I also have knives in my desk, on my second desk, in the back, in cases that I've built. I've got options. So the knife that I gravitate to without thinking, all of a sudden, like I start to wonder why. Like, why did I pick that knife? I didn't think about it. Why did I pick it? Drink water. One sneaky B. I'm sorry. Almost skipped you, B. That's the concept Fenrir that I remember. When Tenable came out with the other Fenrir, concept came out with the other Fenrir, I'm like, that's not a Fenrir. And then I looked at the two, I'm like, oh, it's the same handle, just different blade shape. This is the Fenrir. This is what I will always consider to be the blade shape of the concept Fenrir. That's cool, man. You got the full-dressed concept Fenrir. Drinkwater's got a Bodacious and a Spyderco Mix B. That's super cool. Bodacious and S90V, no less. I'm here for it. Roman's got the Knoll Knives Voodoo. The voodoo that you do, sir. Look at that thing. Voodoo is... Speaking of knives that are just predominantly good-looking. Really, really good-looking. Knoll Knives Voodoo for sure. The Southpaw. You're carrying a original style Spyderco smock with a smaller pivot and a blue label Chavez Redemption Street Tanto with the hated skull clip that has the screws on the outside. Because that's I love the Chavez skull clip. I don't care if it has the screws on the inside or the outside. Of course, I'd prefer it to be blind screwed because it's just less interrupted design. But a lot of people are like, no, that's corny. It's got to be blind screwed. I'm like, dude, we're talking about a freaking pocket clip that looks like a skull. Okay? You're welcome for your preferences. I have the same preference, but it's not because this looks any less corny than the blind screwed version. Like, either you think skull clips look corny or you don't. I like it because it's a clear indicator. Like that is Ramon Chavez's signature. Is his skull clip. He's got aggressive but simple blade design as far as the blade shape, and then the outlandish clip that causes conversations to the point where he had to start adding an additional plain non-skull clip in his knife boxes, which is crazy. People just need to stop complaining. Let the man put his signature on the knife. How about that? Couple of cool knives, sir. Thank you. Big Jim's got a military too. Look at that in XHP. And I'm trying to remember who did those scales. That's not rock scale, right? Is that Raylite? Who did those scales? That's going to bother me. Who did those scales? I like it, Jim. Rebel Rouser's got a... That's a F5.5, right? F5.5. Jack Wolf Knives, Gateway Jack, I believe. And I'm not sure about that fixed blade. It looks super familiar. Is that made by Lynch Northwest? I know this pry bar is. The pry bar is an all-access pass. Oh, yeah, and then he's got an O-Clip Pro over there at the top. I dig it. Serious Mike, what do you got, Mike? Mike has an Olight Arkfeld Ultra. Super cool. And, ooh, I haven't seen one of these in the pocket check in a minute, which is too bad because they're really damn good knives. That is a Bastide Psyop in carbon fiber. Carbon fiber? Is that the carbon fiber? I think that's the carbon fiber. They did a lot of different Psyop versions, so forgive me. Part of me wanted to say that was like G10 or maybe like a micarta. I think that's carbon fiber though. I have a micarta version. The funny thing is that side note, I had bought the original Bastide Psyop top liner lock in titanium. Then they released the new version, which was an improvement specifically on the milling around the button. The original didn't have this back part cut out, and so you could never fully depress the button without ramming your finger into a thin piece of titanium that became uncomfortable. I still love the knife, but the moment that they changed that, I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. And then, so they came out with a carbon fiber version from Fat Carbon. I bought that. And then they sent me for a review of my micarta version. I have sold all my Psyops except for my micarta version. I kept the one that I enjoyed to carry the most, not the one that had the most expensive materials, although my carbon fiber version was pretty sweet. Shout out to Danny P, who owns my carbon fiber Psyop now. I know he was super happy with it when it arrived. It was a nice knife. But the micarta version really spoke to me. It just felt good in the hand. It was Norplex micarta, and I love it. I'm looking at this, and I gotta know, man. Is that carbon fiber, or is that like a G10 or micarta? I think that might be micarta. But is that an ocean micarta? That's gonna bother me, Mike. If you're still here, I need to know, dude. Ed, ooh, look at that. Look at that. The Remet Kestrel in the green carbon fiber, just chilling in its natural environment. Comment says, I've had a ton of knives before. That's just all I have now. That's a ton of knives. People have options. People have options. That's why I have the knife library. Sometimes my carry starts to feel a bit stale, and I'll be like, pick a number 1 in 10, 7. And I'll be like, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then just randomly, that's going to be my carry for the day. I try to only keep knives that I can realistically see myself carrying, if that's how I pick. If I could do a random pick and I'm pleased with the result, that's how I know that I should keep it. Everything else should get sold or given away. The Kestrel is actually one of those knives that I've sold a few, but I still own one and I love it. It's an underrated knife from Remet for a number of different reasons. I'm going to stop getting sidetracked here. Aaron's got a Lamia. Ooh, that's the new golf putter milling. Is that S90V, Aaron? Looking good, dude. Aaron always just casually drops these really fire knives. Like he's got, it's like every day in the new Knife Day channel, he's got something badass that just came in. This is one of the newer ones. See, this is what I mean though. Like this is new generation. See, like it's contoured. You don't see the big aggressive chamfers. There's like, this is contoured. It's not slab style with big chamfers. I really like the new golf putter style milling for SPK. Tom is carrying a Rosie. It's got the radial Rosie. Me too, dude. Yours looks to be more etched than mine. Is yours etched? Mine's stone washed. Radial Rosie. Right. I think so. I like it. Nick T's got a Vulpex Pharaoh and the Riot VK Clue. Look at that. Oh, so nice. So nice. Dazed. Karen A. Every time I see his freaking pocket checks, I'm like, what did you change? It's a regrind on a Model 1. Model 1 regrind. Right? Look at that deep hollow. Did you do that, dude? Days, did you do that? Sometimes I don't know if he does it himself or if he sends it off to be done, but that looks good. And it's not just a flipper version that's got thumb studs. Look at that. Nearly, like, you could probably call that a full hollow, to be honest. Like, what is that, 7/8 hollow grind? We'll call it a full hollow. That looks deep, dude. Slicey. What in the world? JT's got a Herman Dragonfly. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know why I'm whispering. Neither do you. ASMR EDC. Snap Temper says ABW is a great value. I've got opinions on this, okay? I've got opinions on this. I have 2 American Blade Work slip joints in titanium and MagnaCut, and I like them. My issue is with things that are controllable that American Blade Works skips over. Mike Martin is one man. His family helps him in the shop. You can't QC everything, small business, and supply all of your retailers. You should ask them to make sure to QC check stuff. I get that. I've owned 2 American Blade Works slip joints, 2 Model 2s, Model 1. They all had some kind of QC issue. I'm talking blades that couldn't be centered. I'm talking my first American Blade Works slip joint came with a freaking burn mark on the pivot. Also wouldn't center. Also, the edge bevel grind was bad. Like it was a burnt edge. Second American Blade Works slip joint. Not off center, wonky edge bevel. My first American Blade Works Model 1 I got from Blade Runner Outpost. No matter what I did, I couldn't get it to center. It would get close. But it came off-centered, and then I could only ever get it close. But it was frustrating because, like, you go to fix it, and it gets so close, but not quite. And that's a tolerance issue. My Model 1 wouldn't center. The other Model 2 wouldn't center. I had a ABW slip joint that wouldn't center. the sharpening, like the factory, because like Mike Martin makes these. Like, I don't know if you could realistically call it a factory. My point is that does he have good prices for a knife in what is considered to be premium materials with a decent heat treat at very fair pricing? Yes. But when we talk about value, and this is something that I'm bringing up, not because I necessarily disagree with you, but because I'm getting so burnt out on everyone talking about value being materials versus price. Especially when we give passes to USA makers who don't take the time to do the little things that set a premium knife apart from a less expensive knife that maybe you wouldn't consider premium. I feel like we need to get away from just assuming that premium materials make a premium knife, because they don't. It's the craftsmanship. It's the attention to the detail. When I think about knives like those CKF knives that were loaned to me by Knife Dope, what sets that Tashi Baruka Justice aside? It's the freaking tiny details. What sets that CKF Brad aside? It's the freaking tiny details. Like the incredible action, like the weird placement of things. I'm going to try to not ramble too much. And for the record, I don't disagree with you that they're a good value. But I would say that they're a good value because of the things that Mike Martin does right, which are going to be the heat treat. He does a cryo treat on MagnaCut. You're getting really good edge geometry. Your edge might suck from factory, but if you are using it, chances are you're probably also going to sharpen it. You do a first sharpening on an American Blade Works slip joint, and it is ridiculously good at cutting for a very long time afterwards. And trust me, guys, your first edge on an American Blade Works slip joint is not going to be as good as the second non-factory edge. The second non-factory edge, you do anywhere in the realm of, I'd say even 17 to 20 degrees, and it will make you wonder. Like, it is, the factory edge is good, but any edge you do yourself between 17 to 20 degrees will blow the factory edge out of the water by a mile. All right, just had to get that off my chest. Thanks, Snap Temper. Yes, American Blade Works is a good value. Mike Martin needs to fix his QC. I said what I said. That is a beautiful Herman Dragonfly, JT. Appreciate it, man. Steve's got a North Mountain Blade. I almost said kickstop chop, but it's the North Mountain Blade chop with the flames. That's like the hot rod flames, right? Fahrenheit 451 as a background. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Are we talking about knives? We're talking about politics. I'm going to leave the politics out of it. Is Fahrenheit 451 still a banned book in schools? I had to read it in school. It's actually a really interesting book. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. I'll do that after the live. You guys are like, we've been on the pocket chip. We've been on the pocket check for forever. TC Blade's got an F22 kickstop. I haven't seen one of those in a hot minute. That's cool, dude. Concept Main Street and the anniversary edition Concept Strip. That's this guy up here. Everyone's getting on the aggressive Saks Warncliffe train right now. I love it, dude. I'm here for it. The Jared Oser kickstop is cool. The F22 kickstop. I love kickstop as a flipper mechanism. Absolutely love it. Craig's got a cold steel Espada. He's got a Demko 80. I almost said Demko. I did say Demko. He's got a cold steel 8010. That's a limited edition in titanium. He's got an edgy American. He's got an edgy American Thug from Shane. He's got an edgy American Thug from Mr. Shane. He's got a CJRB. Which one is that? Which one is that? I should know this. I don't know. Why am I blanking on the name? I give up on that one. What else does he have? He's got a small Spenza. He's got a Swift 3 and a Cold Steel 5 Max and a... which one is that? A slip joint, which I'm going to fail on because I'm not super into slip joints. I've got 3. I've got the TPK Hedgehog and 2 American Blade Works slip joints, and I love them. I love them all. Very cool. Ooh, he's got a video too. There you go, baby. That's how you know it's not AI. He did a real video. And yes, he's got the hands that can hold all of those knives competently, and he does carry them. Frankie's got a really nicely done Dixon. Look at that. With the mirrored hollow. Stop it. That's nice, dude. I like that a lot. Steve O's got a... God, that's one of the new Jonathan style Kaisers, isn't it? I don't know what the name of that is. I haven't been following Kaiser knives for a while. They keep reaching out wanting to collaborate with me, but I have to keep explaining to new Kaiser marketing reps why I don't work with them. 2 reasons. OGs of this channel will know at least one of them. The second reason is that when you collaborate with Kaiser, unless you are a really big channel, like my channel is what's considered to be like known in the community, mid to low size, but known. Unless you're a big channel, Kaiser decides what they send you. Like sometimes they'll ask you, do you want to like, are there any knives you want to check out? And if you pick something that's like new and expensive, and it's not what they initially wanted to send you, they'll say some line of bullshit like, we don't have enough stock at the U.S. warehouse. And then you go to the website and it lets you put 50 in your cart. Like, sure, let me down easy. But that's why, like, that's one of the reasons why I don't review Kaisers anymore, is because like they want you to review what they want you to review, and they do an okay job of making it seem like you have a choice, but they just want you to advertise their knives that they need to move. Like they don't care about feedback. Kaiser does not care about feedback. I'll say it again for the people in the back. Kaiser doesn't care about feedback. I'm not saying they don't make good knives. They have some knives that are really good. The Jonathan style knives, really good. Designed by Jonathan style. I mean, come on. Like, but when you produce so many knives, so many knife models all the time, you raise the amount of knives that are not great or that have flaws and issues. Like to the point where they keep sending metal complex knives that with knife locking mechanisms that fail. Come on. For every Kaiser warning, there's like... I'm not going to get into it. Kaiser has some good knives. I'm not sure about this one. It looks badass. I really like the Zerkatai. That's beautiful. Is that a Jonathan Styles design? I haven't been keeping up on it, but it looks good. Bradford Mitchell. He's got an FDT. With the FDT, though? Yeah. That's hot. I don't know that model, but that's hot. Yeah, my carry today. I love my carry today. My carry was good. The Pons. What do we got, Pons? He's got a paramilitary 2 Warncliffe and a paramilitary 2. That's the Crucible Industries special right there. That's with the CI in the red. That used to be exclusive to Crucible Industry employees. Stonewall's got a mini MSI and a mini amphibian. Which one do you like better, dude? I need to know because I'm interested in both. I really like the mini amphibian. but I also really like the mini MSI. I've never tried a mini amphibian. I tried the full-size amphibian frame lock, or not frame lock, but the ram lock. It was good. So I'm assuming the mini is just as good or great. Gizmalian's got a Wee Acuminal and the Kaiser Roach XL Concept Hazard, the Artisan Cutlery Gambit, the Bostede Tie Slim Porcupine. Damn, you carried a lot today. I've got that same one. It's another knife that's waiting for a review. Kaiser didn't send me that when I bought it, so it's okay if that one waits. I do, or not Kaiser, Bostede. Ugh, I'm tired, guys. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Holy cat, we made it. We made it, baby. This is why I don't look at the chat during pocket checks, because I will get distracted, lose my spot, and before I know it, will be at my bedtime. Snap Temper says, you don't want to go to the Kaiser dinner. I don't go to Blade Show, or I haven't gone, just because I haven't had the availability. So I know of the Kaiser dinner. I know, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I know a decent amount of people go to the Kaiser dinner that are not super wild about Kaiser. I said it. No, but honestly, like, is it relevant to review Kaiser knives if you have the ability to check out their new stuff and have some choice there and be able to say, no, I don't want to look at this crappy non-selling knife that's non-selling because a bunch of people see what I see. But is it relevant to check out the new stuff because they do still have some good models? Yes. It's the lack of choice. The deception that unless you're a bigger channel, all of a sudden they're not saying no. They're saying they can't send you the review unit because they don't have enough in the US warehouse. Last Kaiser rep I talked to was a new guy, and it's like, hey, I saw some of your older Kaiser content. I would love to, have you collaborated with us before? I'm not sure. I'm like, yes. He's like, oh, great. Can I send you a knife? I'm like, which one? And they start listing off all of the models that I would just ignore. That nobody gets excited about, like in my Discord or from what I've seen online. And I'm like, I would love to, but my queue is backed up for at least, I don't know, call me when the US warehouse has stock of this. Two can play that game, Kaiser, and you know what? He stopped talking to me. You gotta have fun with it sometimes. The Militaw, the Kaiser Militaw, has easily been one of my favorite Kaiser knives. Jonathan Stiles knows how to design one hell of a knife, and I'm guessing he gives Kaiser all of the little nitty-gritty details of do it like this, and then they do because it just works. But when you give Kaiser too much like leeway and they're like, this worked on a model we did like 4 months ago, you get these random results. And then they forget that they already sent Metal Complex that knife that failed his like really light lock test. And then you get to see MC do his rant when he's like, why do they keep sending me this? Maybe there is value there. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Here's what I do know. It is 9:55 Mountain Standard Time. I need to finish editing my video on the M-Stitch. Not a bad turnout tonight, guys. Before I go, I want to see, did I miss anything in the chat? I may have. Blue! I missed you in the chat. Man, I suck. Thank you, Blue, for the 5 gifted memberships. Congrats to any of you who got one of those gifted memberships. If you're a new channel member and you're interested in joining the Discord and you're not already there, go join the Discord. You can find the invite link if you go to the post section of my YouTube channel and just scroll down. It's a members only post. I need to refresh that so it's still at the top of the page at some point. Join the Discord. If you guys buy a knife from me and you want in the Discord, let me know. Anyone that buys a knife from me can get in the Discord, for crying out loud. You have knives for sale? At least one. I've got one brand new Remet Orca for sale. This is brand new, not used, brand new. Acquired for the purposes of selling to you. Email me for details. My email's in every single one of my video descriptions. Rollshambo.edc@gmail.com. If you're planning on buying one of these, reach out to me first. And you'll find out why when you do. Guys, I appreciate all the support. Thank you to everyone for your patience today. It's been a wild one for me. I nearly chopped my hand off twice. I went off the rails several times. We eventually got through the pocket check, but we had some fun. As always, I'm here for a good time. Not a long time, but there is new content coming very soon, and we will be live again on Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain, which is 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Central, which is 7 p.m. Pacific. Happy friggin' hump day, everybody. Get out there. Have a killer rest of your week. I'll catch you on the flip side.